Hey YouTube, Tactic Clutch back for kind of another philosophical or video, but this one was specifically about the Iowa State wrestling tournament that we just had this week, where all of our championship type wrestlers come to our state capitol and wrestle for to find out who's number one. We had an interesting situation. Maybe you guys had heard, because it had made national news. Not that the Iowa, this is like one of the premier high school wrestling tournaments in the nation. But this year was unique in that we had a situation where we had one wrestler named Joel Northrup that actually forfeited his match to a Cassie Heckelman because she was a girl. Now, there's been a lot of debate, and I've been following some of this debate, and it drives me absolutely bonkers. Here we got a guy who showed some pretty big scruples, to be quite honest, to forfeit a match, to let his chances go at the best and biggest state meet, where he worked his butt off all year long to get to that meet, and to be put into a situation where he had to go against basically his values to wrestle Cassie. Now, nothing against Cassie. You know, if a girl wants to wrestle, a girl wants to wrestle. But all you dogs out there that are knocking this young man who would do that after all the work that he put in, you guys are fools. Now, one of the things that really drives me nuts, and we had another interesting situation where we had an ad run here in the Midwest over the Super Bowl. And this ad showed a guy and panned to a couple of different scenes in this guy's life. And this is what it was, a handsome, strong dude in the ad. And this is the way it goes. There's a voiceover describing this guy, and it says, "He who is powerful, and he's tough, and he's aggressive, and he's just raped his girlfriend." This guy named Riverview put this on, basically, at least some of the frustration that I've heard, basically saying that guys that are tough and aggressive and strong and powerful are a bunch of freaking rapists, which is obviously a bunch of bullcrap. Now, I don't know if this guy meant it to come across that way. He probably didn't mean it to, and if I'm just going to be fair, probably didn't mean it to come across that way. But in a day when we are being so sensitive about men learning how to be chivalrous and learning how to honor women and learning how to treat women, why on earth would we put a high school kid into a situation where he's got to basically manhandle a young woman? And that's exactly what wrestling is. I was a wrestler. That's exactly what it is. It is a violent sport. There are moves where you get right up into your opponent in the places that are just a little bit embarrassing sometimes, and you put moves on them that are hard and a lot of times very painful. And yet we put these kids into this type of thing. We put them into a situation where we're asking them basically to undermine their values. Now, listen to this quote from Joel Northrup as he addressed the press after all this went down. This is what he said. He said, "I have tremendous amount of respect for Cassie and Megan Black, who happened to be the second girl who qualified for the state tourney, and their accomplishments. However, wrestling is a combat sport, and it can get violent at times. As a matter of conscience and my faith, I do not believe that it is appropriate for a boy to engage a girl in this manner. It's unfortunate that I've been placed in a situation not seen in most other high school sports in Iowa." Now, this kid is clearly a class act. Now, he's a good Iowa homeschool kid who clearly has got probably bigger scruples than a lot of the guys out there. Who, I think he's just like 14 years old, who at a very young age is willing to stand and sacrifice for his values, and I just want to give this kid all kinds of props. But what I really find frustrating is when we run ads like this ad during the Super Bowl, where we're basically knocking guys for being tough. Well, what about this? What about times where we got kids like this who are stepping up and saying, hey, you know, I am, or I can be tough, and I can be powerful. But if you're going to ask me, and we're actually asking him to basically manhandle a girl, well, isn't that quite a contradiction? Here we've got an ad, and probably the same guys who were hassling this kid love that ad about men being powerful, and men being this, and men being that, and they raped their girlfriend. Well, they're probably huge supporters and thinking that that's exactly how men are. And then there'll be the same guys who will criticize this kid, this kid who stepped up and said, you know what, that's not how it is. That's not how I am. That's not how it's going to be. And that's not where we're going with it. So I just wanted to give this Joel Northrup props. Way to go, Joel. As far as you are in my book, you are a champion, and you take first place at that state tourney any day of the week. But that's what I got. Shout out a comment. Let me know kind of what you're thinking. But that's where I'm coming from. This is Tactic Clutch. I'm out.